Here we go. The gloves are off. Myself, Curtis Woodhouse. We're on a roll, 2 in 2 days. Sat in my garden, chilling, couple of beers. Nothing better, is it? I love the summer. Yeah, and I thought I'd do a video about the lack of respect that people seem to have of Anthony Joshua. People calling him out. I'm like, that's all well and good until the bell went. And however you want to dress it up, and AJ is not the fighter he used to be. That's plain for us all to see. But this is an 18-stone juggernaut with dynamite in his hands. And if he hits somebody, like a Jake Paul or an Andre Ward, he would turn them to dust. To dust. They could not hold half a shot from Anthony Joshua. And you know the video I did yesterday about you don't realise how good people are until you sat on the ring apron watching them work. And also you don't realise how big and powerful people are until you sat on the ringside watching them work. I'm sure that'd be the same for Anthony Joshua. I've never seen him kind of up close and personal in sparring. But this guy is a serious operator. I don't think there's ever been a fighter in my lifetime as loved as Anthony Joshua. Maybe you could put Frank Bruno in that category. But I'd also say on the flip side, I've never known a fighter also as disrespected as Anthony Joshua. There's so many people that say, "Oh, he's a bum," and I'm like, really? 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, Olympic gold medalist, British champion. Did he win the European title or Commonwealth as well? Serious operator and a serious puncher. You know, one of the best punchers that we've ever produced from the United Kingdom. A dynamite puncher, combination, fast hands, just a killer. You know, people like Andre Ward, fantastic fighter, brilliant, but couldn't hold a jab off Anthony Joshua. If Anthony Joshua hits him flush with a nice, like, step-in power jab, it's fight over. I'm not even talking about the Jake Paul situation. I just think it's like you're off your head. Like a half a punch off Anthony Joshua, and this fight's over. And I think the phase of Anthony Joshua's career that he's in right now, I find it quite not sad to see, because I've always been a big Anthony Joshua fan, always. I love his story. I love his rise. I really enjoyed watching the come up. I always say, if Anthony Joshua would have retired after he beat Vladimir Klitschko, it'd be interesting how people would see him and what his legacy would be. I actually said after the Daniel Dubois fight, I believe Anthony Joshua should retire. And I stick to that. I don't think he's the same fighter. I don't think he's got the same punch resistance. I don't think he's he's not the same. He's you know, he's run his course, and that's absolutely fine. But his legacy stands alone, only after probably Lennox Lewis in British heavyweight history. Then you've got Anthony Joshua. His legacy is probably above Tyson Fury's. He's got more title defenses than Tyson Fury. He's got a better CV than Tyson Fury. He's beat better people than Tyson Fury. You know, Anthony Joshua is second after Lennox Lewis, in my opinion. I don't know. Put in the comments below if you disagree. And tell me who you think. But for me, he's second after Lennox Lewis. But the amount of things you see online, which I've learned over time, that Twitter and Instagram and things like that, it's not real. That's not real perception. It's a false narrative, is that. That's not what people really think. And I'm sure when Anthony Joshua walks out in town or wherever he goes, it'll be nothing but love for him. But on the social media, he gets so disrespected. And I find when people like Jake Paul are calling him out and Andre Ward, I find it a bit cringy. Not for them, because listen, they're trying to get paid in. That's absolutely fine. They get a fortune fighting Anthony Joshua. But I find it quite cringy for him. I feel like, is this how people see you now? Is this how people see Anthony Joshua, where they think they have a chance of beating him? Do they think they can beat him? Does Jake Paul and Andre Ward really, really, really think that they can beat Anthony Joshua? Because if they do, then two things. They're either mentally ill, or they have so much lack of respect for Anthony Joshua as a fighter. I find it unbelievable. This guy, you know, I find it sad. I understand people could have their own opinions, and if Anthony Joshua an all-time great, no, absolutely not. Has he been a bloody good fighter? Yeah. But when you listen to people, they speak about him like he's a bum, and I don't like it. Like I said, I've always been a Joshua fan. Because he was fighting in my era, and I kind of seen it come up and was around when it happened. I was in the thick of it fighting myself, so I probably understand more than most about the impact that it had on the game. And when Anthony Joshua was fighting, it was an event. You didn't miss it. And like I said, I remember when I came up watching boxing, what people call the glory years of the Ben and Eubank and things like that. But on top of that, there was also boxing on Saturday nights, and top of the bill would be in a leisure centre in front of 1,100 people. That was the era that I was started watching boxing, and Anthony Joshua has changed all that. You know, now people moan when fights are at the O2. So there's only 20,000. Mental, only 20,000. Unbelievable. And that's not only Anthony Joshua, but he played a major part in changing the game. And I find it sad how his career is coming to an end. And I hope he can get one last big win and walk away. Hopefully they can make the Tyson Fury fight. And it's a great fight, that is, for where they both are at this moment in time. I can't dissect that one in my head, but I just want him to have one last good win, so he can walk away with his head held high. And he can anyway, but I'm just about in people's perception of him. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, really. Yeah, I just want him to get that one last big win where people are like, yeah, fair play, and then he can walk away. But I just think he's going to kind of dribble away. And the way Eddie Hearn's like trying to whore him out to Jake Paul, it's just not in good taste, in my opinion. I'd like to see him, if he's going to go out with a bang, go out there in a bang and get some real fights and try and leave on a high with some credibility. There's plenty of fights out there you'd still give him a real life chance of being in. But I just hate how he's kind of been marketed now as a bit of a laughing stock, and he's so much better than that. He deserves so much more than that. And I find it quite sad seeing watching from afar. Like I said, AJ fanboy, always been a massive fan, loved his fights, always watched him, always been on AJ's side when he's been fighting anybody. But again, like I said, after the Dubois fight, I said it's time for him to walk away, because it's not there anymore like it used to be. And that's fine, that comes to us all. I just don't want to see his career peter out how it is. I don't like it. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I know a lot of people give Anthony Joshua stick, but I'm a big fan, and I just want to see him go out with a bit of class, and they're trying to kind of drag him through the mud a little bit, and I don't like it.